morning because as if we needed any more rain. Let me get myself set up for you all this morning. I need to share this. I have to watch. So if you see me look to the side, I have a screen over there. So, good morning. Today I am um, live streaming uh, to give you all some information. For those of you all who do not know me, my name is Michelle Williams. I am the president of the Houston Education Association. We are one of the local teachers unions in HISD. Um, so, if you're a teacher, let me get this out the way, and looking for representation, my famous saying is it's better to have a union and not need it than to need it and not have it. It's like insurance. So if you don't have it, please don't wait till the end of the school. End of the beginning of the school year. Definitely start now because it takes 30 days for it to kick in. You will not have legal protection. Please do not wait. So you can go to Twitter, formerly, well, X, formerly Twitter. You can go to our Facebook page, or even on my profile, you can find the link to join our union and be protected by at least by the middle of the school year, because you can't ask to be covered after the wreck has happened. So anyway, moving right along. I have been asked, and I've seen a lot of confusion about what a co-location is. And make no mistake, a co-location is a school closure. Mr. Savant Moore, he put out an open letter to the Board of Trustees, Mike Miles, you know, asking about these 15 schools being closed. And please don't let this appointed administration tell you that it's not a school closure, because that's exactly what it is. It's a school closure. It's a school closure in reality, but not on paper. And you're probably saying, well, how is that possible? Well, all schools, the way that TEA tracks schools is all schools have a TEA number. Now, when that TEA number is not being used, then the school is officially closed. So, what this appointed um, administration is doing is they're playing games with words. Oh, we're not gonna close the school on paper, but we're gonna close it in reality. Cashmere Gardens is located on Lockwood. Key Middle School is located on Kelly Street. Those are two different schools with two different addresses. What they're going to say is that, hey, there are two schools at one address. Now, let's think about this, and I'm going to put it really, really simple. If you're sharing a home with your mother, does that make it your house? It doesn't. You have no home, you're sharing it. So that's the same thing with these schools. But technically, because we're talking about education, the TA number is not being discarded. So the school on paper, according to TA, that school still exists. But it's a mess. It's a mess. Now, there are schools that are actually um, there are schools that are actually K8 campuses. We have them. But those schools were designed like that. You don't take Cashmere Gardens and Key Middle School the same children that are in that feeder pattern and put them on the same campus and then expect everything to go great. Because what we do know from this administration is there's no concern about the craziness that's going on the campuses as long as things are getting done. You don't put elementary children on a middle school campus. Make no mistake, Key Middle School needs to be torn down. The school has mold. There are sections of the school that are not being used because of that very reason. That school is in poor shape. It needs to be demolished. And they've been asking for that for years, for that school to be rebuilt. In the last bond, we want to talk about bonds 2012, Cashmere Gardens, Trinity Gardens area, those schools should have been rebuilt. But the problem is, Cashmere Gardens at the time was in decline. And they really were looking to close Cashmere Gardens. They were. If you do any Googling, look up Cashmere Gardens. It was slated to be closed because it was in corrective action in 2016. It was in its fifth year of decline. How do I know? Because I worked there in 2017. That's when Achieve 180 was put into place, and I went to go and work over there. So they were going to close down those schools. That's why you don't have the newer schools, because a lot of those schools were in decline until they were turned around. Cashmere High School, Wheatley, um, Cashmere Gardens Elementary, Key, all of those schools were in decline. So it's just the same plan that they were going to carry out before to actually close these schools. But please don't let them say co-location. Every time they say co-location, you say closure, because that's exactly what it is. It's technicalities, and it is playing games. Oh no, the school is closed. And as the kids say, they playing on your top, or they trying to play with you as if you don't know what you're talking about, and you do. That school is closed. They will no longer have an address. So please be vigilant, especially if you're in the Cashmere Gardens area. I'm gonna pull up Mr. Savant's open letter. This is his letter to the school board superintendent, and he listed all of the schools. Blackshear Elementary, which is in 3rd Ward, Project Chrysalis, Edison Middle, Isaacs, which is small, don't know where it's going, Cashmere Gardens Elementary. Cashmere Gardens and Isaacs are actually on the down the street from each other in the same area. Key Middle School, Sanchez Elementary, Pleasantville. Let me tell you a little bit about Pleasantville. Pleasantville is a historically black school that was built, and I got this from a parent when I was at the Fleming meeting. It is a historically black school that was built for black children because they could not go to the regular schools. So instead of Pleasantville being co-located, it should be a historical marker, and the school should not be able to be moved. That's what a parent told me. So you all can do your Google research on that. But Pleasantville Elementary really should be a historical marker. Port Houston Elementary, Cage Elementary, Franklin Elementary, Fleming Middle School, Baylor College of Medicine, Academy at Ryan. And here's the funny thing about that school. Baylor College of Medicine, they won't even take the neighborhood children. And Now you want to locate it with the neighborhood children? Make it make sense. That makes no sense. It's a magnet program. And then you have DD Middle School, which is on the east end. All of these schools are in high African American neighborhoods. None of them on the west side. You don't see any in the south. Um, they are schools that are in that northeast area. Now, here's the problem with this bond. North Forest ISD was not a part of HISD when the first bond took place. So now you have Forest Brook Middle School, which needs to be replaced, and you're not replacing it. You're trying, I don't know what he's trying, because I haven't really read it. They took too long with the getting the whole bond proposal out, which is crazy. Who puts out a bond and it's not even completed? But these schools, Forest Brook, all of those North Forest schools were not a part of the 2012 bond. So therefore, really have not had the opportunity to be renovated except for North Forest High School. Shadydale, its current state can't start. That school was built and designed when North Forest ISD was an actual school. But none of those schools in that North Forest area, except for North Forest High School, have been rebuilt. And the reason why, from what I was told, the North Forest High School exists because they wanted to demolish Smiley High School, but North Forest never did the paperwork to change over the deed from the family that actually owned the land. So that land that Smiley, which they call it the Health Center now, the district does not own that land. The family that donated it to North Forest still owns that land. That's why North Forest High School had to be rebuilt across the street, and HISD purchased that land. Here's the last part. Mr. Savant Moore talks about the promise to the community. Make no mistake, this school, this area, these schools, they've had broken promises since probably, you know, I want to say since I can remember. And I've been teaching 24 years. But make no mistake, these schools have been treated horribly. And it really started, the decline really began when Terry Greer became superintendent, and it snowballed from there. I can remember when they were trying to annex North Forest with HISD, and at the time the trustee was having a fit because I can remember the statement that she made. She said, "How can you annex a failing school district with 75,000 children onto an area that's already struggling?" So make no mistake, this was a plan and this was designed because they could have broken North Forest up because Galena Park, Aldine, Humble are all surrounding North Forest ISD, but you took a failing school district and tacked it onto an already struggling area, which brought the area down more. So what do you expect? So those North Forest schools have been taken over twice. Um, but this is the letter, and you can read it at your leisure. But I wanted to really clear up what a co-location is. A co-location is a school closure. The school gets to keep its TA number, but it does not get to keep its address. And that is the definition of a closure. It no longer exists. If you put it in on Google, it is not going to say Lockwood. So please don't let them play games with you. And I'm asking you all, as an HISD payer, vote no for this bond. It's all for all the reasons. If it's just not because it's poor leadership, then vote no for that. Find a reason to vote no. If you don't have children, find a reason to vote no, because I promise you, there are many. You don't have to even look far. So, you all have a great rainy day, and I will see you all either at the next board meeting or in my next live stream. Bye bye.